Well, I'm here with Bob Hedgepeth, and you are a board member here at Solve. How long have you been with Solve?
5 years in this month.
And you're a native guy?
Well, since I was 15 years old.
Where are you from?
I was born in Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay. And then you got down to Sarasota somehow.
Sarasota,
How did that happen?
Well, my dad and my uncle wanted to own a filling station. And so they came down, they bought a filling station, and then the two families moved down in July of '49.
Wow. Wow. And so, can you tell us a little bit about your past?
Well,
where did you work? What was your call in your life?
Well, I graduated Sarasota High School, Stetson University, received a commission there in June of '56, and then I went on active duty and spent 10 years on active duty in the Army. Learned to fly. Uncle Sam taught me to fly, and I spent well, about 3,500 hours flying light Army airplanes.
Wow. One
tour in Vietnam, and then I had an opportunity to get out of the Army and go to work for United Airlines, so I took it.
Wonderful, wonderful. So now you're at Solve. That's quite the transition from flying airplanes to looking over babies.
Well, taking care of the babies is better.
Yes, yes.
But the thing that happened, my wife passed away a little over 5 years ago, and I was looking for some place of service, and I checked with Pregnancy Solutions down in Venice, and I also checked with hospice up in Sarasota. And hospice was really good to my wife when she was so sick, but I thought that I would be better off with something that led to life rather than
Praise God.
Death.
Yes.
And so Bill Collier, whom you probably know.
One of our counselors here.
Yes.
Yes.
And we were going to Sarasota Baptist at the time, and he introduced me. I knew about Solve, but he introduced me to the fact that there might be an opening on the board. And so, like I said, 5 years ago, I jumped at that chance, and it's been a good experience ever since.
Wonderful. So in those experiences, is there one thing that through your meetings and through your decisions for where Solve is going and the vision and direction that Solve has, is there one particular thing that stands out in your mind that it's like, oh yeah, I'm right where God wants me?
I just enjoy the overall philosophy of Solve. One of the things that really impresses me is the emphasis on the Bible and the Christian life. And I know that that Solve is in good hands on that as far as Peggy is concerned. And it's a thrill to me and a blessing.
Well, thanks for stopping in today. The Giving Challenge 2015. We're so glad to have you on our campus.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Okay, thank you. There.
Now I have to go home and get a clean shirt.
Oh no.
You're sweating.
Thank you.
Well, you're doing a good job. That was painless.
Well, 17 years on TV. So
Is that right?
I hosted a morning talk show, it was a Christian TV
Really?
station. We got into 11 counties in West Central Ohio. Started, my husband got saved watching TV 44.
No kidding.
And through that process, they had an auction in the summer. So he donated a bicycle, a high-end bicycle. And so
was that his business?
No, he just had a bicycle he wanted to get rid of.
Oh.
And for the auction. So when we delivered it, I said, do you need any assistance? Well, yes, we need help with the auction for 2 summers. And I worked full-time as a beautician. So for 2 summers, that's what I did. Called out, solicited for items, helped, like if they needed a little production stuff, I just would grip. I would hold the cables or something like that. So people, so the end of the second year, Ginger Stocky, who now works for Joyce Myers, and you'll see Ginger on this interview set. She's the one that interviews Joyce a lot, red-haired girl. She was my boss there. She called me up and she said, we really feel that God would have a place for you here. Are you interested? And I said, I work full time. I don't know. I don't have any background in broadcasting. She said, well, we hired a producer for Straight Talk from Teens, which is an international show they were producing. And the girl has MS, and so she needs the mobility. So I would just be her runner. I said, well, I don't know. She said, well, it's Monday and Wednesdays, which were the 2 days I didn't work at the beauty shop. And so, literally, I looked up and I said, I got this. I get this. So, continued to work for both places. And as people would leave, because I'd learned enough skills, they would say, okay, Sherry can do that, Sherry can do that. 17 years later, I had my morning show that I hosted, and then I produced Ask the Pastor. We would tape 2 shows a week of that. And then there was a community date book where I would book the guest for that, and it was just events going on in the event. Through that, they started inviting me out to like things at the parks. I would host the events and things like that. So, and then through Ask the Pastor, I was connected with hundreds of pastors in Northwest, West Central Ohio, and I got word from the government, Lima City. Someone called and said, are you aware that abortion clinic is now in our city? I said, how did that happen? So within 24 hours, we had a board, and the 40 Days of Life, we got those people on board with us. We started picketing the abortion clinic, and because I had the contact with all the pastors, every pastor was on board. I was able to go into some of their association meetings and say, this is our plan. We can't have this. And actually a year after we moved down here, my husband was sick, and so he was up for a heart transplant, and he said, I'm not taking a heart from a younger person. So we finished up his years here. So he lived an additional 3 years. He was able to live here 3 years before he passed away last September. But in that time frame, they not only closed the abortion clinic in Lima, because we left a trail. Just because we headed it didn't mean we had to stay there. And then through that, they also closed the mother abortion clinic up in Toledo, Ohio, from those things. So,
You
God's
said,
got
you said
us.
44, channel 44?
TV 44.
Did you ever hear?
In Lima, Ohio.
I've heard of 44. I'm from Elyria, Ohio.
Okay.
From Lorain County.
Yes, that's a
up
little
north.
out of our viewing area, because we were low power, but 11 counties out of 88 counties, it's not
good.
too bad.
That's pretty
So, but I've been in contact, and like when I went back up for my husband's funeral, I got to be, they stopped some of my shows because it was personality driven. And the girl that took my place is a little more low-keyed. I'm a little more spastic. And so she's producing a show called Faith and Friends, and they had me come back, and they did a 20-minute segment, where you at, what's going on.
how neat.
And because we were so front and center.
So that wasn't the first time you've done an interview like that.
Who were some of the pastors that you had on the show?
Over by Elyria, there was Bill Schroeder. He's actually a church plant guy. And he built a couple churches over there that way. Pastor Robinson, AOG, Assembly of God guys, they were really on the team. I mean, they were, if I needed anything, if I'd have somebody that would cancel last minute, my AOG guys, they would be there because they were so steeped in the Word that, we could present them the topic, and they could just run with it. But
That's great.
Randy Davis.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, he was on the east side of Lima. Big church. In fact, they sold a church to Pastor Kim Lyons, who came up from Dayton. They filled this 350 person church, and then Pastor Randy built a new church across 75. Decided, hey, we're only going to do one service. It's too much. I'm getting older. And within months, they went to 2 services. So, God's moving in big ways in Allen County and Putnam County, Defiance County, and but yeah.
Well, our pastor, I don't know whether you know him,
I'm just really getting connected.
Mike Landry.
I haven't met him yet, but
He
I
was,
will.
he was spent a lot of time in Ohio.
Yeah.
He was not
Where was
like
it?
evangelism.
Uh-huh.
He was working with Southern Baptists, you know,
Wonderful.
in Ohio,
Uh-huh.
and doing evangelistic work, and so he's
See, Bible Baptist was right down the road. What was that guy's name? It's been pushing 5 years now, so
Mhm.
Oh, sure. It's hard to remember.
but yeah, he was involved. Yeah. So
and
Right.
and Pastor Landry is he's a real supporter of Solve.
wonderful.
And then our other pastor, who's a pastor of missions and whatnot, he's great.
Yeah, he's
In
great
fact,
too.
he safeguards the budget, you know, that
Praise God.
Sarasota Baptist gives to
Okay.
Solve. And so,
Wonderful, wonderful.
Look at
And,
this, Bob.
and that's
look at this! Look at that!
Well, that's probably his feet. It's the
It could-
same.
It could be.
Yeah.
But he's.
Yep. Yep.
That's so cute.
I just
Oh.
love that part of the job. You know, when you just need to like wind down, you just go pick out a baby and you hold him for a little bit.
Oh,
And
yeah,
then
isn't
you're good
that
to go for a
wonderful?
while.
Yeah,
You're good
makes
to
you
go.
feel so good.
Right.
Little Levi, is he still here?
Yes.
He
Yeah.
was so
Levi or
cute.
Eli? No, we have an Eli, but no Levi right now.
Okay,
Eli.
Eli.
Yeah.
Well,
I said
Jan
wrong.
came up with me to the last board meeting. We held it here,
Okay.
and so Brian said, "Well, let me tempt you with holding this baby."
Yeah, he says, let's go see him. So we went
I
over.
almost lost her.
He was so cute.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well,
And
thanks
just
for-
so bright-eyed. He was only
Yeah.
like, what, 3 months old? But they're younger than that.
Yeah.
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 And he,
Well,
I think he was only a month old.
yeah, he
Yeah,
must
our
have
little
been.
Eli, he's only 3 weeks old, but he looks like he's about a month and a half. He's just so alert and strong and
Yeah.
filled out. I like him with the meat on him.
Yeah, I guess he was only 3 weeks old is what he was, and he looked so much older because he was so bright-eyed.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So, well, thanks again for your time.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Right.
It was fun.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good, good. I'm glad it was fun.
So they passed the test?
He's not bleeding. He's not bleeding. He's not.
He's not bleeding. Oh, boy.
So we can go online and see.
Yeah.
See your
It's gonna take me a little bit to enter to.
On
Okay.
Facebook?
Yeah, on Facebook. Solve homes.
I'll have to solve homes. All I have to do is put that in.
We've never been on Facebook.
You know what? Okay, you guys, I just got on.
Okay.
Did you?
Like
All
last
right.
month.
All right.
And I did it because everybody else in my family is on it, and I don't want to post things myself.
Right,
Yeah.
you get to see different things.
But when you go on, then I can click on my
Different
sisters, my
members,
nieces,
yeah.
and I can see their new pictures,
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
babies.
Email?
I can see
So
all
when
that.
you
go on,
I can send it to you. I can send your interview to you.
Okay.
Well, I think that it just pops up.
Go in here. What paper is it? Turn this.
Save the battery.
Yes. I've got them.
And I didn't even have my picture.
I got 3 of them, and I got one